Hey guys, welcome back to Dave Does It. I'm Dave, and sometimes I do things. And one of the things we're going to do today is finally get around to this little utility trailer we found on Marketplace. We kind of got to make it our own and useful for what I want. And this trailer is going to be, I guess, a backup for the stump grinder. You know, we don't do a lot of inner city jobs, but it's nice to have a smaller trailer when we go into the city. This trailer is going to be awesome for that. And then it's primarily going to live out at our shop. We're expanding our business a little bit, getting into new territory, and we have to work at the back of the property for that. So that way we can keep all our gear and our working tools and things like that on this trailer, and I can pull it out of our little building, take it all the way to the back, and just shuffle things back and forth. So part of that, we're going to enclose the sides. So the other day, you may have seen, while we were out, we grabbed these deck boards. I'm going to put some deck boards up on the sides. Over here we had a Marketplace score that I can't really call a Marketplace score. Mr. Dave had this side mount toolbox that he had listed on Marketplace. I seen it, didn't realize it was him. One of his friends listed it for him, and we picked that up a little while ago while we were out there. We're going to mount that on this right side rail, and hopefully it fits well. We got some U-bolts for that. I'm going to do a little tray in the front with a 2x6 just to hold a gas can or a chainsaw, something along those lines, and just see what, I guess, how it unfolds, and then we can make changes as we grow and actually start using the trailer. You know, I was thinking about maybe putting a rack on the other side to hold our chip shield, and getting a couple pieces of PVC pipe to mount on uprights to slide our shovels and our rake and our broom and stuff in. So it's going to be an evolutionary process on how the trailer suits us and our needs. But right now we're going to box it in, get that little side toolbox mounted, and then we're going to make a front tray to hold a saw and a gas can. And hopefully it works out well. I'm pretty excited. I'd like to get this out of the shop. As you can see, we've kind of been pile organizing a little too much. So we're going to address some of that, kind of go through some things and actually put stuff away. So once this is out of here, we'll be able to move on to the next project and keep the ball rolling. We got some cool things coming, a little more things that are involved as far as fabrication and stuff goes. So we'll just keep plugging along, but here we go. We're going to get some of these lats mounted. I got some of these self-drilling lathe screws, so that should be good. We're going to fasten the boards just to these side rails for the time being with these self-tappers. We might come back through later and through bolt everything, but it should hold it in place fine. You know, we're not using it for securement. We're just holding the boards onto the side. So let's get after it. So as you guys can see, we got some treasure laid out here. We have this rolling utility wheel to go ahead and put on our jack so we can roll the trailer around easily. I got some lag mounted tie downs that will end up through bolting into the floor. I don't know if we're going to use all 8, but that's a pretty good deal. And then I got some reflective stickers that we can put down the side rails to just help identify ourselves. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to pre-drill into the wood with a little bit, and then we'll run our lat screws home, and hopefully that'll be some good securement. I'm probably going to do 3 in each upright. As you can see, these are just sitting here right now, so we're going to start with the bottom one and then kind of work our way up. Just kind of treating them one at a time so we get some securement into the board. Board has a nice little bow to it. That's cool. And look at that. I broke my Phillips tip. Well, that sucks. Well, I gotta go find another Phillips, try to get the broken tip out of that screw, and I will be right back with you guys. Alright guys, we got that taken care of. We got the broken drill bit out, got the broken screw out. And then I realized that we had a gap on the bottom because I didn't take the crown out of the board when I fastened it. So if you look back in the rear now, we got a ginormous gap. So we got to push the board down, hold it until we can secure it, and then keep going, and then I'll come back to this middle rail. We also stepped up a size on our drill bit. Seemed to work a little better with the self-tappers. Alright, get this one in, and it'll hold the board to finish the rest. Look at that. No more, took the crown right out of the board. Then we'll hit this final rail and then move on to the next board. There you have it, guys. Hit each rail, 3 screws each, took the crown out of the board. Pretty simple process. We'll do the same thing with the next board. Right? Go ahead and stack it. And away we'll go. So we'll get a couple of these done. Bring you back for the next process when we got to cut the front bulkhead. The side ones are nice because they're this 10-foot trailer, so I bought 10-foot boards. And they lay out real nice. As you can see, they don't quite hit the gate. So hopefully it goes well and I don't break any more drill bits. Stepping up that drill bit size really helped. So we'll get this stuff mounted. When we get to the front boards, we'll be back with you. Just wow, guys. This completely changed the look of this trailer. I mean, check that out. That looks really slick. Just got to do the front boards now. Like I was saying, I got the side ones all knocked out. It came out really cool. I like it. Completely changed the look of this little trailer. We got a little gap in the back. I don't think we got to worry about anything falling through there, but I'll take a piece from the cutoff from the front bulkhead, right? So those are 8-foot pieces. I got to cut them down, so I'll just take a strap and I'll screw them here just to close this gap up a little bit. But all in all, I'm extremely happy with this. We're going to take some measurements, get the little saw set up, and then we'll get these front boards here mounted. Once we do that, it's just I'll make my little tray and we'll get this toolbox mounted to the side rail here. I picked up a variety of U-bolts. We got a couple different lengths here to kind of see what's gonna, you know, work best to saddle that toolbox. But yeah, I'm excited. I look forward to start using this. The wood's not the greatest. I wanted to pay a little extra for the cedar tone. I think the brown looks a little nicer than the regular green ground treated lumber, but there wasn't a very good selection. The store I went to said they had 78 boards and there was like 6. So they're kind of a little twisty in some spots, but I'm glad it laid pretty flat and we were able to take care of that. I just hope that these self-tapping lath screws can hold up to the boards pulled on them. That's why I went a little overkill. And we did, you know, 3 per board here. Again, there's no load on that. I just wanted the sides on it to keep the loose stuff inside the trailer. And then we'll have that little tray in here. I think I'm going to size it so it fits a milk crate, because then my gas cans will fit, my saw will fit, and maybe down the road we can make like a little blower rack off the front or something. I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be an evolutionary process, and we're just going to keep adding to it to fit our needs. So let me get you guys back on the tripod. We'll get rolling with the little saw and start cutting some of these 8-foot boards down for that front bulkhead. Alright guys, let's get this front bulkhead all measured up and we can start cutting some of these boards. Hopefully I could read a tape measure and don't need to go back to tape measure school. I'm left-handed, so I make everything a catastrophe, and I always read the tape measure upside down. I actually bought a left-handed tape measure, and then I started cutting stuff really long. Look at, oh man, we're 6 foot on the nose. Well, that's pretty cool. 72 inches. Got a little compounding miter trim saw here. Works pretty good. I've had this saw forever. It's treated me right. Got a nice piece of scrap that we could use for that kicker in the rear. I could also probably cut a couple slices out of it to use for the guide boards for that 2x6. Here's one. And as easy as that, we have some 6 foot boards. Now let's get them on the trailer. Drill, baby, drill. Got a dead battery. Perfect timing. Now we have a charged battery. Let her potato chip. Go do one over here. Oh, that fits nice. Awesome. Loving it. This little trailer's coming together really nice. I think this board has a bit of a twist in it. Yeah, it does. Try to fit it up a little nicer. Yeah, that's not too bad. We could dig that. There we go. Look at that. Now we have a boxed-in utility trailer. This is sweet. Bam. Loving it. And all this lumber and the screws cost me a little over $100. Completely changed the look of our trailer and the purpose. Absolutely love it. I'm going to get some little pieces cut to fill in the back. So that little strip. And I gotta go out in the backyard by the chickens and see if I can steal one of those 2x6s, and we'll frame in our little box up front here. Alright guys, here's an idea of what we're looking at. So I went back to the chicken coop and got this 2x6. I already cut it to 6 foot to throw it in here. But I think we're gonna do a 14-inch pocket. Now, as you can see, it's a little big for a milk crate, which also means it'll be a little big for a gas can. But I'm pretty sure with having this 14-inch pocket, I could set the base of the backpack blower in here as well. And that would help tremendously to keep it from sliding around or having to put bungees on it all the time. So I'm going to get a couple of these scrap pieces cut. I'm going to just take like some 2-inch chunks off. And we're going to use those as guides on either end of the 2x6 here. And that'll allow us to slide this 2x6 in and out if we end up not needing it. Or I could add a couple more and then we can make it adjustable, right, to change our pocket size. So it's just something that I thought would be a little better opposed to just, you know, running some screws into the end of the board here and then it's kind of like permanently affixed. At least with having the guide pockets, we can take it out when we don't need it. And then I could add, you know, one on either side and would be able to change the spacing or, you know, make our pocket a little larger or a little smaller depending on what we're doing or what we're hauling around that day. I think 14 inches is good for what I'd use because I can hold a milk crate. Supposedly my backpack blower is gonna slide in here I have a gas can and my chainsaw. So we'll see how it works out. We'll get a couple of these pieces cut and then get them in here and onto the toolbox. And here's the end result. I guess we're not going to end up with any adjustability. Two of the pieces I cut off split when I ran the screws in them. So I ended up pre-drilling all of them and it's okay. But the little piece of scrap that I have left, I don't want to cut any more chunks off of it because then I'm going to be getting into a pretty gnarly knot. So we're stuck with the 14-inch pocket. The board's still pretty loose though, so we could pull it out when it's not needed and we'll have use of the full trailer. So it's pretty neat. I like it. It gives me a place to stash my gear. So now we can try to get this toolbox mounted up. This is probably going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, just because, you know, I got to drill holes for the U-bolt. So we're going to place it in there, kind of see how it looks, do some positioning, and then try to mark some holes. Hey guys, I just got back. Mrs. C and I went to lunch, and I stopped at the big box store, and I picked up a couple 2x4s. I grabbed some treated 2x4s we got here on the ground. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to just frame in a little box for the back of the toolbox to sit on. And then we'll just have a little frame section back here, which would also give us a pocket to stash some stuff in. Alright guys, as you can see, we got one put together. I'm going to put this one together with you guys. And then we'll have a little picture frame to put our box on. Eyeball. We're not building a house, we're building a trailer, right? And there we have it. We have our two frames to support the toolbox on the trailer. Alright guys, we got one down. We're using these headlock fasteners. It uses a really goofy, like, I don't know if it's like a 12-point Torx bit or something. But they're really aggressive and they seem to bite really good. I thought this would be a better option than using the framing nailer. So we're going to go ahead and buzz these in. Alright, so we got these all locked down now. We ran them on an angle so they kind of pull into each other. And I think we're good. We can set the box up now. It'll have something stationary to sit on. And then we can try to get the U-bolts, the layout for the U-bolts done. Awesome. Alright guys, we pre-drilled our pilots just through the aluminum. And I got some fender washers we're going to put in the fasteners just to help spread that load a little better. Now we're going to run them in. Like so. I ended up lucking out because those fasteners I bought were 1 inch and there were 8 1.5-inch screws in that box, so kind of lucked out. I thought maybe my 6-inch uprights I cut too long. No, since this is a treated board, it's not quite 1.5 inches, it's a little thicker, and that's what bit me in the butt. This one was a little saucy. Beautiful. There we go. Just kind of on there. Now we just need the U-bolts and we'll be mint. Alright guys, so I went ahead and cut some strips of plywood So we're gonna set that on top of the rail, you know what I mean? And it's gonna like sandwich between the rail and the box. And that'll support it. We'll bring the U-bolt up through and it'll bolt inside here. I pre-drilled all the U-bolt holes and I could try and get a couple of these fitted. Some of the U-bolts though, they're a little splayed. I don't know if you can see that in the camera very good. Alright guys, we got some blue thread lock. I'm just gonna put a little bit on all the nuts. Just to help secure everything in place. These are not locking nuts. And we can run them home. Nice. Told you I'd bring you guys back for the loud stuff. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. Oh yeah, seal. I gotta go get some double-sided sticky tape. Look at that. I'll grab you guys. Show ya. I had to put a piece of plywood in here to act as a shim in between the clamps. All in all, I think it worked out great. Box sits up a little good. Then all our clamps. All in all, I'm extremely happy with this little trailer project. I think it's gonna work out really well now. Almost done. I gotta put the wheel on. I'm not gonna bore you with that. And I got some of those reflective stickers right here to put on the side. You know, put it on the tongue or right here. So I won't bore you guys with that. I gotta go drag out the wax and grease remover, and I need the ladder to do that. But made some good progress today. It took a little longer than I thought it would have, but it's done. I think it looks absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. I really couldn't be happier with how it came out. Little storage guy up front. I think I might even be able to mount some PVC on the back side of the box here on an angle to slide my rake and my broom in. But it's just about ready to go to work. Well guys, thank you for joining in today. I'm glad I got to bring you along with my little trailer project. It took a little longer than I thought it would, but we got it done. So if you made it this far, please hit that like and subscribe button, turn on the bell notification. It greatly helps with the algorithm and the growth of our channel together. If you can, remember, kindness is free. It doesn't cost you anything to be a decent person and try to inspire someone. And by me being out here and slamming together my little utility trailer to make it what I need, because it definitely wasn't to start with, I hope I inspired you. So thank you guys, and see you next time.